Attention bowlers, we are gonna get started. Folks, welcome back to Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire for another exciting Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match. Please, bowlers, finish your warm-up frames. We'll be changing to scoring in just a moment. Welcome to the expansive 3-ball spare. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour tonight. Tonight you'll be watching a Class E North match. It's Mario Ameno versus Bryan Hebert. Mario Ameno comes to us with a record of 2-12, and Bryan Hebert is coming to us with a season record of 10-32. One of these bowlers tonight really wants to take a pile of points home to kind of help out their records, and that should be something to behold. So on your left is Mario Ameno, and to your right is Bryan Hebert. We're going to give our bowlers a thumbs up, and they're ready to play some Candlepin bowling here in Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. It's great as always to have you along with us. Candlepin bowling is slightly different from 10-pin bowling. If you're not used to Candlepin bowling, it's 3 balls per frame. Strikes don't happen often. Spares are more of the object of desire. And you also get a third ball, which will score 10 bucks if you can take all the pins out. And here is Mario to start things out with a head pin shot. Pins pending, a split of 6. A split of 6 down there. It is the 4-6-2-10. Let's see what can happen here. And he'll take 2 and leave 2. Not a big deal. Leaving the 2 and the 4 down there. The match format is 5 strings with 14 points on offer. It's 2 points per string and 4 for total pinfall. If there's a tie, the points are evenly split. Mario Ameno will start out with an 8-box here in this 5-game series of Candlepin bowling, which I hope you enjoy here on this Tuesday night. Some TNB, some Tuesday night bowling in Concord, New Hampshire, the capital of New Hampshire. A very busy night, league night, and you may even see to the right of us, there's another ACST match going on. You may observe. Very busy night here. And 2 down for Mario Ameno. An interesting shot. Almost a quarter Worcester. The 2 and the 5 were taken out. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, this is an ugly shot. Mario just waiting for Nick Charest to the right of him to finish. Let's watch what happens here with Mr. Mario Ameno. And he'll take out a bunch in the center and leave the 4-6-7-10. So 6 down, 4 up. Not a lot of luck on the breaks. And he'll take a couple. Still taking a couple. And he'll take an 8-box. 16 after 2 for Mr. Mario Ameno. Mario Ameno's off to the left on the 7-pin. 16 after 2 so far. Or excuse me, 14 after 2 so far. He'll punch another. One, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 6, 10 for Mario Ameno. We'll get into some stats and numbers in just a moment here. And a great out by Mario Ameno. He'll take a 9. That's 23 after 3 for Mr. Mario Ameno. Mario Ameno comes to us from the Wakefield Bowlodrome in Wakefield, Massachusetts. That's his home house. He's bowled 1 match this season. He has a season record of 2-12, and that was a home match at Wakefield. He has a season average so far of 83.8. And oh, yikes, he'll punch the 6. Not a lot of luck there. Mario Ameno's high single is 99. His high series is 419. 0 strikes, 3 spares, and 6 10s for Mario Ameno so far, and he will complete the double, the double lemon drop down there. Working box for Mario Ameno. And let's see what can be the outcome of this box. He'll take a 3. Ooh, yikes. A hard-fought 3 box from Mario Ameno. That's Definitely a box he went to war for. That's going to be 26 after 4 for Mr. Mario. Mario Ameno has the 12th highest Class E average at 83.8. The number 3 Class E average spare fill as well. He recently faced Chris Curley in round 1 at the Wakefield Bowladrome. He took 2 points. He had a 419 series. With an 81, 77, 70, 99, and 92. He had 0 strikes, 3 spares, and 6 tens with 13 head pin shots and 9 splits. Mario Ameno shaves him off the right side, the working box, before he sits, and then Bryan Hebert will take the stage, the approaches here at Boutwell's. Boutwell's, B-O-U-T-W-E-L-L-S, Concord, New Hampshire. There's an 8-box for Mario Ameno. Bit of a rough first half, but there's still plenty of bowling to go here, folks. Mario Ameno sits at 34 after 5. That's your first score update of the evening. We'll be checking in on the scores every 5 boxes in the full screen with all the stats and stuff, just to keep things in line with the bowlers. They bowl 5 boxes at a time before they switch. And now it is time for the home bowler here at Boutwell's Bowling Center to show off his stuff. It is Bryan Hebert, making his first appearance tonight on lane 4. It's going to be Bryan Hebert, just waiting on Mark Milliken to finish his ball right there. And here comes Bryan Hebert now, ready to fire. And he'll shave off 7 at first. 2-4-7 for Bryan Hebert. And he's got a spare. Bryan Hebert starting out with a great showing and a mark right here at the beginning. In fact, why don't we watch that shot all over again, shall we? On the 2-4-7, Bryan Hebert fired on it, and he got his target. Reached the target, no problem. Jason Bromcheck just making a quick adjustment on the scoreboard down there. CompuScore is the scoring software used at Boutwell's Bowling Center. Definitely has a little bit of a learning curve. You want to get into more of the advanced functions, but you know, most bowlers will not need to touch those, just if something goes a little weird or whatever. Mark Milliken just threw a strike, by the way. Bryan Hebert's filling his spare with a fill of 6. A great 6 fill and 16 after 1 for Bryan Hebert. 1, 2, 8, 10. Bryan's just a little bit off to the left of the target, leaves the 1, the 8, and the 10 down there. And a 7-box it will be for Bryan Hebert. The 7-box results in 23 after 2 for Bryan Hebert. If you're into watching multiple matches at the same time, do tune in to the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook for the match that's going on right to the right of me. It's a doubleheader. It looks like Mark Milliken, John Cadero, Chesa Bromcheck, and Megan Harlow. Look at that strike by Mark Milliken. Oh, my goodness. Stealing the show in a different stream. Here's Bryan Hebert off to the left. He'll take a 6-pack, a 4-drop. You might even be hearing Paul Grant, who's literally just a couple feet away from me. Very excitedly calling that match. Bryan Hebert for the spare, and he'll miss off to the left on the 6-pack, leaving the 6-pack. And we do ID here at the bar at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire, needless to say, but the 6-pack shot is sponsored by the bar Boutwell's Bowling Center, and you should check it out. That is not the 6-pack, that's a set pack. Here's the 6-pack for Bryan Hebert. He missed it on the spare shot, but he can take it for the 10-box. The bar at Boutwell's Bowling Center is very well stocked with some great taps, great food. Great taps and great food next door. Sabrin Pizza, partnered with Boutwell's Bowling Center. You can order it right from inside Boutwell's. You gotta be kidding me, that strike by Chesa Bromcheck. Almost a strike. Bryan Hebert around the pocket. He'll take an 8-box. That's 31 after 3 for Bryan Hebert. Let's talk about Bryan Hebert while we have some time. He has a season record of 10-32 with 3 matches played as of right now. He has an away record of 8-20, a home record of 2-12. Here's Bryan Hebert with a 6 drop. Missed the head pin, but didn't matter too much. He's got the 1-2-4-8 down there. Away, Bryan Hebert's average is 88.4, home average 88.6, so they're about equal. And Bryan just a little bit off target, takes everything but the target. Leaves the head pin. Bryan Hebert's high single this season is 106. His high series is 454. He has 3 strikes, 14 spares, and it's 26 10 boxes, 1327 seasonal total pins. With a division rank of 4 right now. He's the 11th Class C average at 88.4. Bryan Hebert for the 10 box. And he'll just miss it off to the left. That'll be a 9 box for Bryan Hebert and 40 after 4. Bryan Hebert recently faced Mark Poirier in round 6. It was a home game with a 443 series. He threw a 77, 101, 94, 86, and 85, but he only took 2 points. Bryan Hebert's right on the nose. Split 7. Split a 7, that's the 5, the 3, and the 10. And here he comes for the spare. He needs this one. Well, it doesn't necessarily need it, but it would be a very nice to have. Excuse me, a nice to have versus a need to have is probably the better statement. Bryan Hebert takes 1 pin, leaves 2. It's the 3 and the 10 down there. Bryan Hebert will be in the lead for the moment, at least by 6 and counting. 14 and counting, excuse me, before we key this last box in. We're taking some pauses in between balls just because of the match lane courtesy just off to the right of us, so in case you're wondering there. So we'll go at a bit more leisurely pace until that match finishes up. Bryan Hebert will finish that up with an 8 box and a 48 half for Bryan Hebert, 48 after 5. Mario Ameno with a rough half of 34 after 5, but there's still plenty of bowling to go here. Bryan Hebert tentatively in the lead after 5 boxes by 14. And now back to the guest bowler, the away bowler, Mario Ameno. Lane 3 here at Boutwell's Bowling Center. And he'll take 5 so far. It's a Kaleri. Yeah, a 5 drop and a Kaleri. I don't know why I'm thinking 6-pack still. It's a Kaleri. And he'll just miss off to the left. It's the 1, 3, 6, 10, and 8. So 5 down, 5 up still. And he'll make it a 6 box. Mario Ameno from Wakefield Bowlodrome, 40 after 6 so far. Wakefield Bowlodrome in particular, commentary on that house, that is a difficult house to bowl out of. It's one of those houses where definitely if you can do good there, you can do good anywhere. Great house too, just in general. 6-10 drop for Mario Ameno, 2 drops so far. 8 up, 2 down. And he'll poke the 4. 3 down, 7 up. And he'll make that a 7 box. Mario Ameno, 47 after 7. So Mario Ameno would be talking more stats about him, but he's only bowled 1 match so far, so he has 419 total pinfall so far, but again, that's only after 1 match. He misses the head pin there, but drops 6. That's the 1, 3, 7, 9 down there for Mr. Mario Ameno. And he plays the wood. The wood hits the 7, leaves the 1, the 3, and the 9. For the 10 box. He'll make it a 9. It's 56 and 8 for Mario Ameno. So yes, we're at Boutwell's Bowling Center at 152 North State Street in Concord, New Hampshire this evening. There's 24 lanes at Boutwell's, 12 on each side of the building. Boutwell's Bowling Center uses manual scoring and manual lane resetting, with CompuScore being the scoring software used. Owned by the Dellis family, Andy, Alex, Dino, and Dimitri. You may be familiar with some of those names. All 3 of the Dellis kids, the Dellis brothers, they're all in the ACST this year. And they're all great bowlers, too. Dimitri and Dino Dellis, in particular, Class A bowlers this year. Newcomer Alex Dellis to the ACST this year. Mario Ameno in a working box, and he'll take an 8 box out of that for 64 and 9. Boutwell's Bowling Center, if you're familiar with Dan Murphy of Candlepin Stars and Strikes and WNDS and the ICBA of the 90s and 80s, etc. Dan Murphy used to own Boutwell's Bowling Center until he passed away in 2022. And working ball for Mario Ameno, missed the headpin but dropped 8 and left to leave a 1-3. Let's watch how this shakes out for Mario Ameno. And he'll get the spare, just kicking the wood behind it, but he got it. So Mario Ameno's on the board with a spare, and let's watch that again because that was cool. Watch this shot. On the 1-3, he was just off the target, but the wood was around. Look at that, just all over it, and he got it for the spare. This is for a fill to close out the first game. For Mario, at least, he'll take 2 off of it. He'll take a 76 first game. Score update for Mario Ameno. He's at 76 after 1 headpin shot, 1 split, 1 mark. 76 is the first game total for Mario Ameno, but there's still plenty of bowling to go. There's 4 games to go, so every game is worth 2 points apiece maximum, 1 if you tie, so definitely plenty of points to go around. We'll see what happens with Bryan Hebert next here on the ACST. I'm Steve Kelly back here in the broadcast booth calling Mario Ameno and Bryan Hebert. It's great to have you along. Here's Bryan Hebert. And he's on the pocket. Split. And it will be a mix of 7, the 4-7-9. Bryan Hebert will poke the 9 and leave the 4 and the 7. It's John Cadero to the right. Covered him just 2 days ago, actually, at Lakeside Lanes. And Bryan Hebert will take a 10 box to start out the second half. 58 after 6 for Bryan Hebert. Talking about the ACST, it's a season of Candlepin bowling among bowlers sorted into classes and divisions, sorted based on averages of the bowlers. This is Class E. The league is that big. We go all the way down to E from A. 16 bowlers per division, or per class, except for Class E, which has a slightly different rules, maybe a little less lopsided than last year, as we consolidated Class F into Class E this year, but still plenty of bowlers per class, and it's sort of like the NFL in terms of divisions for each class. The classes don't bowl each other; they bowl, internally. There's 1 champion per class every year. And there's an 8 box for Bryan Hebert, and that should be 66 and 7, and that is confirmed. In fact, let me tell you a little bit more about Boutwell's Bowling Center. So do check it out on North State Street in Concord, New Hampshire. There's 24 lanes in Boutwell's. It's all wood approaches, all wood lanes. Great mixing action on the pins. CompuScore is the scoring software used. The Dellis family own the house. They're awesome people to hang out with, to talk to strike up a conversation with them when you're here. There's a headpin shot and an 8 drop for Bryan Hebert. The 3 and the 6 down there. Spare leave. Just play it direct. Not much else to not much else doing there with that 3 and 6 leave. Let's see what it looks like. So the 3 and the 6. Oh, Bryan Hebert was right on the object, but a little bit too full on the object, unfortunately. That was a great bid, but he left the 6. This will be for a 10 box. And he's got a 10 box. He's right on target. That's 76 in 8 for Bryan Hebert, tying Mario Ameno right now. Bryan Hebert in the 8th box has 76. Mario Ameno also 76. So barring no disasters, Bryan Hebert is poised to take the first game, which is worth 2 points. And that will do it. That's a 5 drop. That will be the first game for Bryan Hebert. That's a left side Caleri, named after Bob Caleri of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. That's a leave of the 1, 2, 4, 7, 9 for Bryan Hebert. Bryan Hebert will take the rear pin, the sleeper pin, 1-2-4-7 for Bryan Hebert. A lot of action going on in the match to the right of me here. Please forgive the noise. It's a busy house. We like to see busy Candlepin houses, so you don't see me complaining about this because this is something really all the businesses in Candlepin bowling really need right now. So no qualms there. That'll be a 7-box for Bryan Hebert in the 9th. That will put him at 83 in 9. All right, Bryan Hebert ready to fire. Ready, aim, fire. Hopefully not in that order. And he'll drop 6. Just slightly a plank off the head pin, 1-3-6-10 for Bryan Hebert. That's a 6 drop. Potential for a mark here. Oh, and he'll get it for the spare, Bryan Hebert. The 4 horseman spare. Both bowlers sparing in the 10th. But Bryan Hebert is just piling on for the total for later. Watch this shot, 1-3-6-10. Released it, bouncy slightly ball, but he got it all over it. Here he goes for the follow-up. This ball will be for the fill. And he'll drop 4, and he'll fill with 4. Bryan Hebert will take a 97 first game. And that is confirmed. I'll give you the score update here. After 1 game, 76 for Mario Ameno. Bryan Hebert, 97. Bryan Hebert will take the first game by 21. Both bowlers with a mark in the 10th. Bryan Hebert bookending his game with a spare in the 1st and a spare in the 10th. Mario Ameno almost doing the same. Just the first box was just not a mark for Mario Ameno. So anyways, we're going to be moving on to the 2nd game here. ACST. Bowlers are getting ready. I'm getting ready. I hope you're getting ready for the 2nd game. And welcome to the 2nd game. It's Mario Ameno starting things off. He'll do the honors, and he'll fire. Take a couple pins off the back. A 4 drop, after all, is mixed down there. Center diamond, the 6 and the 10 for Mr. Ameno. And he's almost on it for the spare, almost takes everything he leaves, the 2 pin. This will be for a 10-box for Mr. Mario Ameno. And he'll make it a 9, opening up with 9 after 1 for Mario Ameno. There's a maximum of 14 available points per ACST match. The grand total pinfall stat is the most interesting one. That's where grand total pinfall will give you 4 points. It'll tie with 2, and that can really sway matches. So if you can hold on for the grand total pinfall, things will go really well in your favor. That's an 8 drop from Mario Ameno, and the 2nd ball will take 1 of the 2 pins for the spare. And then for the 10 box, he'll make it a 9. That's 18 after 2 for Mr. Mario Ameno. A tie. So yes, we talked about ties. A tie in a string or the grand total pinfall will just divide the points winnings in half. So example, if you win the 1st game, 2nd game, and 3rd game, lose the 4th and 5th, and win total, you get 10 points. Of 14, you'll go 10 and 4. There's a 3 drop from Mario Ameno off the back right side Candlepin corner. 6, 9, 10 knocked down. Here's Mr. Mario. Just a little off the target, but the head pin will go eventually, thanks to the mix of the decks, and he'll leave the 8 pin down there. And he'll make that a great 10 box. Mario Ameno, 9, 9, 10. That puts him at 28 after 3. Mario Ameno of Wakefield Bowladrome in Wakefield, Massachusetts. And Mario mixes 7. The 4 pin slides off its spot slightly. That's the 1-4-7 for Mario Ameno. Oh, and he'll take all but the head pin. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, wrong lane. That's always bound to happen at least once per match. Mario for the 10 box. He'll take a 9. 3 9s, 110. That's 37 after 4 for Mario Ameno in the first half. Doing much better than the first half of the previous game. Big improvement, big bounce back. Just getting the butterflies out. Mario Ameno's on a 1-3 pocket. And he'll take 8 down, 5 and 8 left on the deck. This is a spare opportunity for Mario. Right down the middle. That will be the operative shot. And he's got that for the spare. A nice classy spare for Mario Ameno. After 5, he scores 47 plus a ball, which he will complete at the next half. 2 for 5 in the head pin, no splits for Mario Ameno. No strikes, 2 spares, 110. Averaging 4.7 pins down on the first ball so far. Now it's back to Bryan Hebert. Bryan Hebert just a little bit off the head pin. He'll mix down 7. That's the 1, the 9, and the 10. Bryan Hebert, his home house was Lakeside Lanes in previous years. This year he's moved up north to Concord. Oh, just a little bit off target. That would have been a spare had that connected with the head pin. It was just a plank or 2 off. And he'll miss twice on that head pin, operative pin, object pin for an 8 box after 1 for Bryan Hebert. Bryan will shave off 1. Bryan is a secondary manufacturing lead at Microspec Corporation. Oh, that was a pocket shot on the second ball, leaving the 5 and the 10. Bryan manages a team of folks at Microspec. They help produce a lot of medical tubing and extrusion technologies. That's a 9 box for Bryan Hebert. That's 17 after 2. Bryan Hebert's all-time high single is 158. He bowled it at Putnam King of the Hill. Have a note, Bryan 311's Hebert. There was one time he threw 3 spares in a row with 3 1-fills in a row, and it was just some rough, definitely some rough goings there. But he kept sparing them, so that was the cool thing. Here's a right side check mark for Bryan Hebert. Will he get the spare on this? Up just a little bit off to the right. Wanted to ride the rail to the right and stayed a little bit too much to the right, leaving the 3, the 5, and the 6. And there's the target there for Bryan Hebert, but the 6 pin is protected. That will be a 9 box for Bryan Hebert. That's 26 after 3 for Mr. Hebert. Compare that to 28 after 3 for Mario Ameno at the same point in the game. We'll assess the totals at the 5th box. Here's Bryan. Takes 3 off the left side. Bryan's on target, but a little full. 2, 6, 10. 7 box guarantee with a 10 box maximum here in the 3rd ball. He'll play it safe. That's a good idea to take 2 just to get get as many sticks as you can on a risky shot like that. 3 9s and 1 8 for Bryan Hebert puts him at 35 after 4 as of right now. Head pin percentage completion right now. Bryan Hebert's at 29%. Mario Ameno's at 20%. 6 and 10 taken out there by Bryan Hebert on the right side. Bryan Hebert's just a little bit to the left. 1, 3, 9. And it'll be shooting for a 10 box, 7 box guarantee. 10 box maximum, you know the rules of Candlepin. And Bryan Hebert will take an 8 box, that's 43 after 5. And now let's assess some more evenly paced numbers. Bryan Hebert leads in the total by 17 minus Mario Ameno's impending spare fill. Mario Ameno currently has the game by 4 plus his spare fill. Mario Ameno 47 in a bonus, Bryan Hebert 43 after 5. 1.5 game total, 123 for Mario Ameno, and 1.5 game of 140 for Bryan Hebert as of right now. catch you up. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour brought to you by 3-Ball Spare Conglomerate Class E North, Mario Ameno at Bryan Hebert this evening. Great to have you along with us in this packed house here at Boutwell's Bowling Center. There's Mario Ameno, who will punch the 6 out and fill on 1, unfortunately. He'll lemon drop the 6, as some might call a Paul Grant situation. Check out candlepins4cancer.com. By the way, great charity run by Paul Grant and Al Johnson to help bowlers in the Candlepin, just bowlers or people in the Candlepin community in need of cancer treatments and all that. It's a great organization. You should check it out. There's bowling tournaments as well if you want to win some money in addition to donating for cancer assistance. Do check it out at candlepins4cancer.com. And Mario Ameno will take a 9-box to start things out here, 57 and 6. This is the first time I'm covering Mario Ameno. This is his first match here on my program. And he'll get a nice mix off of both sidewalls. A nice bounce and splash damage off of both sidewalls. 1, 2, 4, 8 are left after all is said and done. That's a 6 drop. Oh, and he'll play that wood. He'll play that pin that was slightly off the spot. It wasn't the object pin, but he'll take two of the 4 down there, leaving the 1 of the 8. And he'll take an 8. That's 65 and 7 for Mr. Mario Ameno. And there's the 1-3 pocket for Mario. And, oh, an extra pins will fall. It's actually a 9 drop after everything finishes mixing. Now it's a single pin spare opportunity for Mario Ameno. Escaping the split stat. And playing the wood. Will it come around? Oh, not quite. That's the kind of action you can expect at Boutwell. Sometimes even if you miss and play a wood, play a piece of dead wood right, you can still kind of come back and take something. But it's very fair. It's not like hit anything to get anything. It's still strategy involved. It's just a different kind of strategy compared to some other houses. That's 74 and 8 for Mario Ameno. 3 for 8 on the head pin. No splits this game. Already doing much better than the previous game. Let's see if he can keep it up. Mario Ameno fires. 1-3 pocket. Oh, that looked good. That was a strike ball. The 5 and the 8 are down there. 1 pin even moved a bit. 5 and 8 for Mario Ameno. And he'll just miss off to the right just by a little bit. And Mario Ameno, ooh, that wood will deflect the ball, and that will be an 8-box. And a mark left on the table for Mario Ameno. That's 82 and 9. Mario Ameno currently 3rd place in his division in Class E North Division 3. Again, he bowled Chris Curley in round 1 at Wakefield Bowldrome. He's only bowled 1 match so far. This is his 2nd match of the season. And there's an 8 drop and a split, 6-7. 6-7 for Mario Ameno. 6-7. Take a look down there. You see the double buffered wood? That can help you or hurt you. It's going to be interesting. He's going to play that wood, yep, and that was a hurt you situation. It just, everything's spun, everything's out, and that piece of wood is out of play. Looks like Bryan Hebert will go down to retrieve it. Doubtful that it's going to roll back into play at this point. It is way out of play. In the rule book, you do have to wait, though, so take a look. But it will stop moving. 6-7 for Bryan Hebert. For Mario Ameno, as Bryan Hebert removes the pin. Thank you, Bryan. Yes, we can play Deadwood and Candlepin until it reaches a certain threshold down there. There is a line. We can't really see it from back here, but there is a line down there that defines what is legal wood and what is not. And that will be a fouled 8-box, I believe, for Mario Ameno. I believe that will be 90. I will confirm that. What am I saying? That is a confirmed 90. I was waiting on the scoreboard down there to update and refresh as they keyed it in down there. That's 90 and a 2-game total of 166 for Mario Ameno. A 76 and a 90 is what he bowled. No strikes, 2 spares, 110. Averaging 4.8 on the first ball so far. Bryan Hebert with a 43.5. Let's see what he can do here. Bryan Hebert took the first game. What happens in the second? Come watch with me. Bryan Hebert's off to the left of the head pin. He drops 6, 1, 8, 6, 10. For the follow-up. Just a little bit off to the right into the ocean. This will be for a 10 box for Bryan Hebert. 1, 8, 6, 10 again. He'll take another for a 7 for 50 and 6. And Bryan will shave, looks like 3 off. Half Worcester plus the 5 on the left side. And he'll take 2 more. 1, 7, 10, 3, 4 for Bryan Hebert. Oh, and a nice cleanup though for Bryan Hebert. Great out. We call it 10 box and out, especially if it's a great redemption-filled ball box. You know what I mean. It's not worth a mark, but it's worth a great 10, and it's a feel-good box for a bowler. Bryan Hebert's on 1-3 pocket, and it'll be a mix of 8 with the 7 and the 8 standing down there with 3 planks of wood. Now this will be an interesting one. And it's all about that wood, really. Can you play the center one? Or maybe do that. That had a chance too, but maybe less of a chance than playing it direct. He'll leave the 7. And he'll make it a 9 box. Bryan Hebert 69 and 8. Bryan Hebert will mix 3 off the back right corner. And second ball, a little bit off to the left. Working box for Bryan Hebert, 69 and 8. Compare that to 74 and 8 for Mario Ameno, to give you an idea of the exact box for box situation and totals. That will be, yikes, that will be a 4 box for Bryan Hebert. That will be 73 and 9. So we suddenly have a game here, folks. Bryan Hebert will require a mark to be able to take the second game. Mario Ameno has secured a 90 with 1 mark. Let's see what Bryan Hebert can do here. Do or die. Let's go. Bryan Hebert's on 1-3, a little full, split 6, 4, 6, 2, and the 7. We watched Caitlin Zolko make this shot just on Sunday. That'll be a fouled one, or a fouled pin off there, so it'll be a -1. So Mario Ameno will take the second game. Both bowlers have taken 1 game apiece. And that will be a 7 box for Bryan Hebert, I believe, for an 80 second game. That is confirmed. Let me key the scores in here. 80 for Bryan Hebert, 2 game total, 177. Bryan Hebert 3 for 10 in the head pin with 2 splits. Mario Ameno 5 for 10 in the head pin with 1 split this game. Mario Ameno 166, 2 game total. Bryan Hebert 177, 2 game total. Bryan Hebert holds on to the total by 11 with that 177. Mario Ameno took the second game by 10 with the 90 versus Bryan Hebert's 80. On the first ball average, Bryan Hebert is squeaking by with a 5.4 and Mario Ameno 4.8. Getting ready for the third game here on the ACST. I'm Steve Kelly on the call in the broadcast booth, and here's Mario Ameno. And he's on the pocket, nearly strikes it up. It was a great strike-looking ball, 4-8 left on the deck. One of those balls is like it could go any which way in terms of the action. And for the spare, oh my goodness, that wood doesn't touch the 4. And he's got it for the 10. Mario Ameno, 10 after 1. In the boxes 1 department, I know it says 9 for Mario Ameno, but if we go head-to-head, both bowlers are evenly matched, winning 8 boxes apiece and tying everything else. That's a great head-to-head stat to think about if this match was being bowled head-to-head simultaneously. That's a 3-drop for Mario Ameno. And on a nice explosion on the pocket. Took almost everything, but some mid-air action and some collision of the wood deflected against the 9, causing it to stand to live another day. And that will be a 9-box for Mr. Mario Ameno. 19 after 2. That's a 6-drop, 1, 8, 9, 10 for Mr. Ameno. And on the object, he was just a little off to the right, kicked some wood, took the 9, leaves the 1, the 8, and the 10. And he'll make it an 8-box. That's 27 after 3 for Mario Ameno, who's gone 1 for 3 on the head pin so far this game. Overall, he's 7 for 23 on the head pin. And he'll take a few off. That's a 5-drop. That's the center diamond and a sleeper. Let's see if he can bust it up. Can't quite bust it up. The 5-pin stays. For the 10-box from Mario Ameno, he'll take a 9. That's 36 after 4 for Mario Ameno. Neither bowler has drawn first blood in the strikes department yet. They both have 2 spares. Almost equal in 10 boxes as well. Bryan Hebert 3, Mario Ameno 2. And that's a 4-drop for Mr. Mario Ameno. Oh, just narrowly missing the 3-pin by a hair. And he'll poke one more out. That'll be a 5-box for Mario Ameno. At the half, Mario Ameno stands at 41 after 5. 1 for 5 on the head pin. No splits still. Mario Ameno doing very well on splits tonight. Only 2. 50% as much as Bryan Hebert's 4 splits. So the wall of defense for Mario Ameno is 41 with a 2.5 game total of 207. Now let's see what Bryan Hebert can do here. No fire, missing the head pin, but he'll mix 7 down, 1, 9, 10. And he'll take all but the object pin, the head pin. There's a ball coming back in the left channel there. Looks like it shouldn't be a problem. And he'll take a 9-box to open up the 3rd game. Both bowlers 9 or over in the first box of the 3rd game. Hebert 9 after 1. Mario Ameno had a 10-box in the first game, 10 after 1. Bryan Hebert will take 3 and then some. Looks like a 4-drop. Extra sleeper pin instead, and in addition to the right side candlepin corner. And he'll shave off another 5 down, 5 up. 4 horsemen left side on the 5. 1, 2, 4, 7, 5 for Bryan Hebert. And a nice 10-box for Bryan Hebert. That's 19 after 2 for the gentleman, Bryan Hebert. Bryan Hebert will poke out 2. We call that a half Worcester shot. It's just barely off the head pin, but, you know, just off the head pin enough. He'll take 2 more out. 6 standing, 4 down. And that will be a 4-box for Bryan Hebert. That's 23 after 3. 23 after 3 for Bryan Hebert. The 41 after 5 is confirmed for Mario Ameno. The bowlers maintain the official book records and the official scores, just to give you an idea. And there's a strike for Bryan Hebert. A nice buck right there. Let's show this replay again. Watch this shot. This was a great one for Bryan Hebert. He's drawn first blood. That was the first strike of the night for Bryan Hebert. 10 down on the first ball. Throws a dime. Working on the strike fill now. And on the impact on the 3, 6 so far. Next ball completes the strike fill. So he's at least at 6. And he'll take 8. It was nearly a 9, but the 9 pin decided to stick around. That's 41 after 4 for Bryan Hebert. The 10 box, he'll make it a 9. And that will be a 50 half for Bryan Hebert. 50 after 5 for Hebert and 41 after 5 for Mario Ameno. It's a difference of 9 in between these 2 half games. Bryan Hebert plus 9 in the game and plus 20 in the total as of right now. Mario Ameno has won 10 boxes and Bryan Hebert has won 11 boxes, with all the rest being ties. To give you an idea of the head-to-head statistics, if we were going box for box, if it were something like Worlds, we'll talk more about Worlds in just a moment here. Here's Mario Ameno on the 1-3, nearly a strike. He wasn't going to take Bryan Hebert's strike laying down. It was a valiant effort, but the 4 pin stays. Drops 9. Mario Ameno on the 4 pin. Oh, and just misses the object wood. Could play the pin directly, could try that wood, but the wood behind it wasn't going to do much. This will be for the 10 box. That was the shot. That was the shot I had in mind. So that'll be a 10 box for Mario Ameno. That's 51 and 6. We might call that shot a Paul Grant special and miss the second, get the third. Paul Grant is around, and I bet he saw that shot. There's a $1 donation to Candlepin per cancel per occurrence that the bowler is participating. And again, do check out Candlepin's number 4cancer.com. Talked about that before. And that's a 2-drop for Mario Ameno on the 4-7. And wow, in the 6-10 pocket, he got a bit of a kick forward, leaving the 1-3. Oh, and he'll sail off to the left, and he'll take an 8 box in the 7th. That will put him at 59 and 7. 59 and 7 for Mario Ameno, 50 and 7 for Bryan Hebert. Mario will shave off 3 off the left side. 4-7-8 knockdown. Leaves the 1 and the 2 on the second attempt. Again, Candlepin is all about the second ball for the most part, about getting the spares and getting those sweet, sweet spare fills. And that will be a 9 for Mario Ameno. That will put him at 68 in 8. He's 2 for 8 on the headpin this game. Again, no splits. Mario Ameno doing a great job avoiding the split stats. He only has 2 splits in the entire match. Bryan Hebert's got 4. 2 go down, the 6 and the 10. And we'll shave a few more off for a left side Kaliri. 5 down, 5 up, 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. This will be for the 10 box. He'll get a couple extra. It looks like it's going to be a 7 as a result of the play. 75 in 9 for Mario Ameno. And while I have your captive imaginations, I am bowling in Team Massholes in the International Candlepin Worlds. I'll show you that slide in just a moment. But to give you an idea, I'm selling some raffle tickets to support our team. We made the playoffs in World last year, and we hope to do a repeat performance this year. It's a week of bowling in Moncton, New Brunswick this year. It'll be 3 matches per day. We'll be rotating in and out. Our captain, Chuck DeRozier, will guide us to victory. And that will be a 5 box for Mario Ameno. That will be an 80 for this next game. The third game, 3-game total of 246 for Mario Ameno, 76, 90, and 80. Bryan Hebert at a 50 half. Needs 30 in 5 boxes to tie or exceed Mario Ameno's 80 in the third game here. Here's Bryan Hebert. And he'll shave 2 off on the 4 and the 7. And he'll shave some off of the right. Just kind of the theme of the night is just shaving stuff off, like shaved steak. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9 for Bryan Hebert. And that will be a 5 box for Mr. Hebert at the end of it all. That's 55 in 6. So to continue our discussion, 1 ticket for $5, 3 tickets for $10, 5 tickets for $20. Support my team, Chuck DeRozier's team, really. Coach Chuck, the Massholes. Big winnings in the raffle if you get drawn. I do ask if you want to get a ticket from me, just my Venmo is at Skelly, S-K-E-L-L-Y, S-K-E-L-L-Y. I'll just need your information so I can physically write it on your raffle ticket, so when I go to submit the tickets, you know, you can get paid if you get drawn. I know we all like getting paid. I like getting paid, but we got to know who you are and where to get the money. So quite a bit of drawings, quite a bit of doings if you get drawn. So how much more do I have to say it? Here's a 7 for Bryan Hebert. That's 67. Excuse me. Correction. 62 and 7 for Bryan Hebert. Getting ahead of myself here. Bryan Hebert blows up the pocket, pounds it. Left side castle or left side setback, depending on who you ask. This is the 4-5-7 version of the castle. And Hebert will sail into the channel. And that will be a 7 box for Bryan Hebert. That's 69 in 8. Closing in on Mario Ameno's 80. He has 2 boxes to do it. No marks required, barring no disasters in the 9th frame. And he'll take 1 off on the 7. Came off his foot a little oddly there. And he'll take 2 more down. Might be a issue with the approach down there, my guess, or something. Might have just caught something. Either on the shoe or on the floor, not entirely sure. And that will be a 4 box for Bryan Hebert. Got a little bit stuffed on the approach there. That's 73 and 9. 7 to tie, 8 to win. Fires 3 down. 4, 9, 10 for Bryan Hebert taken down. 3 down, 7 up. And into the ocean. Next ball will determine who wins this game. 80 for Ameno, 73 for Hebert. And it looks like he will secure it with that 8. Actually, that is the bare minimum needed to take the game. That's an 81 for Bryan Hebert to Mario Ameno's 80. Bryan Hebert just barely edge of your seat victory for Bryan Hebert. 97, 80, and 81 for Bryan Hebert for a 3-game total of 258. 76, 90, and 80 for Mario Ameno for a 3-game total of 246. 246 to 258. Bryan Hebert still holds on to the total by 12, as he has all evening so far, and he took the third game by 1. To give you an idea of what's going on here. But enough about the third game. Let's move on to game 4 here in the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. It's going to be Mario Ameno next. On my Worlds team, we have a couple new additions this year. We have Sean Shattuck and Tyler Rice joining us. There's Mario Ameno with a quick 9 right down the center. Beautiful, smooth ball, leaving the 5. But yes, we're going to be in Moncton, New Brunswick for Worlds this year. And that will be in a month. That'll be the second week in November. There's Mario Ameno on the 5. Missed it for the mark. This will be for a 10. Just a little bit off. Still off to the left. That'll be a 9 after 1 for Mario Ameno. Here's Mario off to the left, takes down 4 and leaves a 6-pack right. Check his ID. Like I said, we ID at the bar at Boutwell's Bowling Center, as we do in every bar, but you know what I mean. Good time to talk about the bar. Doesn't have a name. I kind of asked around, and it doesn't seem like the bar at Boutwell's has a name. It's not like Kegler's Den or the 25th Lane or anything. And that will be a 9-box for Mario Ameno. That's 18 after 2. Thanks for tuning into the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, the best place to watch some of the most exciting Candlepin matches from a wide selection of bowlers from all skill levels. We're having a fantastic time at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. This match this evening, busy house at Boutwell's. That's a 7-drop for Mario Ameno. 1-3-6. I'll just miss off to the left. Oh, and right on it for the 10-box. 28 after 3 for Mario Ameno. I know he really wanted that second ball to be that third ball, and I know we've all been there before. It's if you could just rewind and say, hey, forget that second ball, let's make that dial in that third ball as a second. I know we've all wanted that to happen. And Mario Ameno will poke 2 out. Half Worcester right side. Oh, and Mario Ameno, will he take the half Worcester out for the spare? The 5 and the 7 are left, and the 7 looks like it's going to stick around. Great bid by Mario Ameno, just no luck, really. And he'll take an 8-box. That'll be 36 after 4 for Mario Ameno. Mario's on the pocket, 1-2 pocket, buries it, but oh man, he only gets 5 out of it. Takes the hay bale on the right side. On the retry, he'll turn it into a diamond for a 6-drop. That will put him at 42 after 5, and that will, after 5, Mario Ameno 42 after 5 for 3.5 game total of 288. 2 for 5 in the head pin. And still only 2 splits so far for Mario Ameno. No strikes, 2 spares, 4 10s, and 4.8 on the first ball on average. And here comes Bryan Hebert looking to come right off the bench hot right now. And he'll take 1 off on the 7 pin. Oops. Oh, and that will be, oh boy, that's going to be a bit of a foul. 1 down on the first ball, and then a whole bunch down on the second. I lost count. -5, I heard. We'll go with that. All right, -5 from 9. That's going to be a 4-box for Bryan Hebert. It's rough when that happens. That something it doesn't really often happen, but you can get really unlucky when you go into the gutter and fly out, and then if it takes a bunch of pins, all those pins are null and void, unfortunately. Oh, and Bryan Hebert will take one more down on the 7 on the first ball. Bryan Hebert will poke 2 more out, just a little bit off to the left of the head pin, but nothing doing there. And he'll make it an 8 box. That's the 1 and the 4. That's 12 after 2 for Bryan Hebert. Compare that to 18 after 2 for Mario Ameno at the same point in the game. Bryan Hebert threw a 97, an 80, and an 81 in the first 3 games. Mario Ameno threw 76, 90, and then 80 to catch you up if you're just joining us. Bryan Hebert with a strike, a big, big dime of a strike for Bryan Hebert. Bryan Hebert's second strike of the night. Watch this. And you couldn't ask for a better shot like that on the 1-3 pocket. He was just all over it. Looking for that. Bryan Hebert has 2 strikes this evening. Looking to capitalize on this. Could be big right here. He'll take 3 off. 2 balls on the fill, so nothing set in stone just yet. 4-7-8 taken out on the first ball. Second ball completes the strike fill. And he'll get a nice mix of 9 and a big 19 for Bryan Hebert. That'll put him at 31 after 3. With just the head pin left standing. Mario Ameno 28 after 3, so just think about that for a moment. Bryan Hebert's shooting for the 10 box, and he'll take a 9 for 40 and 4. Here comes Bryan Hebert. Won't get a spinny piece of wood. He'll take 6 down. 1-5, 3-7. He'll cap the wood by the head pin and leave the 3 and the 5. And he'll take a 10 box out of that, cleaning that mess up, and that will put Bryan Hebert at 50 after 5. Good positioning in this game. +8 over Mario Ameno's 42 after 5. Bryan Hebert with that strike. Bryan Hebert 2 strikes, 2 spares. Mario Ameno no strikes, 2 spares. At the moment, they're both averaging 4.8 on the first ball. 9 head pin shots for Hebert and 10 head pin shots for Mario Ameno. 16 boxes, 1 for Mario Ameno, and 15 boxes, 1 for Bryan Hebert. So it is relatively even all around, honestly, for the stats. There's an 8 drop so far for Mario Ameno. $3-6. Oh, and he was just a little bit off the 3, takes the 6. 9 box guarantee, 10 box maximum for Mario Ameno. And he'll take a 10 for 52 in 6. Stay with us for all the action here as Mario Ameno battles Bryan Hebert at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. This edition of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour is brought to you by 3 Ball Spare Conglomerate. Check out 3 Ball Spare on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch.tv for more matches, streams, tournaments, and highlights. I will do my best to try to stream some Worlds matches this year as well. Just not a super fancy stream, of course. When I'm bowling in tournaments like that, especially when there's not a lot of room, especially in Worlds, it's just going to be kind of just an iPad on a stick kind of situation. So it won't be super fancy, but you'll at least get to see some great bowling at Worlds. That's 61 in 7 for Mario Ameno with that 9 box. 3 for 7 on the head pin. No splits. Mario Ameno, again, doing a great job. Almost every head pin shot has resulted in not a split. Well, I say that, and then this happens. It's the commentator's curse. That's a 6 drop and a split for Mario Ameno, his 3rd of the match. 4-6, 2-10. Plays the wood on the left side, kicks the 4, leaves the 2, the 6, and the 10. For the third ball, it might be a foul. I will hold for the call. He says 7, so I will key it in as 7. It's officially the bowler's call. 68-8 for Mario Ameno. Mario Ameno, 12 headpin shots so far for 38, 3 splits. And he's just off to the left. Takes 1 pin out on the 7 pin. And a couple more are taken out. All but the 8 and the 10 with 4 planks of wood on the deck. And that is going to be a doozy of a shot, but it'll be for a 10 box. 8 box guarantee for Mario Ameno, and he'll fire. And he's got it for the 10, 78-9. Ameno on the 10. Working ball. We'll take 2 more out. That's 3 down.
Have a good night, Steve.
You too.
Good seeing you, bud.
See ya. Just saying goodbye to Mark Milliken there. 3 down, 7 up for Mario Ameno. And it will be a 7. Mario Ameno will take an 85 in the 4th game. Give you a score update. 331 after 4 games for Mario Ameno. 76, 90, 80, and 85 for Mr. Ameno. 12 headpin shots, 3 splits, averaging 83 so far. Box is 120. Well, actually, the box is 1 stat will not be accurate until Bryan Hebert bowls his last 5, so stay tuned on that. Averaging 4.6 on the first ball. And it's now time for Bryan Hebert here on the ACST. I'm Steve Kelly in the broadcast booth. It's great to have you along with us here. And Bryan Hebert not hitting the head pin, but he'll nearly take, well, more than 70% of the deck. He'll take 80% of the deck for 8 down. 1 and 10 left. Bryan Hebert for the spare, and he's got it. An exciting spare for Bryan Hebert to start the second half out. Let's watch this again. Watch this shot. Great. This is a much more difficult shot than it looks. That wood was helping and guiding it. And Bryan Hebert's gesture there at the end, you like that. You'd love to see it. And yikes, okay, so he'll fill that with a 1, a big 11 box in the 6th. Bonus pins are still bonus pins. It could have been worse. 61 and 6 for Bryan Hebert, still in the lead by the 6th frame. I'll poke another, ouch. Just the 4 pin on the second ball. For the follow-up on the pocket, 5 and the 7. Ooh, yeah. All right, that was a great out by Bryan Hebert. 71 and 7. Actually, I'm going to play that back because that was fun to watch. The way those pins went down. Watch this. On the 1-2 pocket. Had to kick the 5 and then the 10. Here we go, Bryan Hebert. Oh, and punching the 4 on the first ball again. Lemon drop on the 4. Bryan Hebert bouncy ball. That's kind of led to it sailing off course. He'll take the 10 out. And it looks like we have almost the same shot as just a box ago. Let's see if he can repeat the performance in the pocket. Just a little bit off to the right this time of the pocket to leave the 1-8-9, and that will be a 7 box for Bryan Hebert. That puts him at 78 and 8. Two to go. He has to get to 85 or greater. And he'll take 4 off on the left. I thought he was going to get at least 1 more, but he'll take a 6-pack on the right side. Oh, and he missed the target, but a piece of wood kicked forward, and he got all but the head pin. And he'll take a 10 box. 88. Now in the 9th for Bryan Hebert, he will take this 4th game. And he has 1 to go, and he's just looking to pile on the total now. He's plus 15 in the total and counting in this 10th frame. If you catch me saying frames or boxes, it'll take 3 out. We hit a sticky spot on the approach again. It's been kind of a common theme at the moment. Has the 4-7-8 for Bryan Hebert. So he does have the 4th game. And on the pocket there, he's got a nice spare. Sometimes you just need kind of a bad first ball to really kind of take things out. Take the trash out there. Watch this shot. 1-3 pocket. Great mix down by Bryan Hebert. Sometimes a little adversity can kind of get you going. 98 in the bonus. And it looks like it's going to be a 2 fill. And that will put Bryan at an even 100 by the looks of it. So after 4 games, it's a 358 4-game total for Bryan Hebert and a 331 4-game total for Mario Ameno. Bryan Hebert currently with 6 points, not counting the total. He's up by 27 in the total, which will be assessed at the end of the next game, which can be worth a maximum of 6 points for a lucky bowler if they can take the total and take the 5th game. Bryan Hebert takes the 4th game by 15. Moving on to the 5th and final game as Mario Ameno gets ready and we get ready here on the scoreboard in the broadcast booth. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. It's great to have you along with us here on the ACST on this Tuesday night at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. Here's Mario Ameno. 3-4-7, a split of 7 for Mr. Ameno. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he was on. Well, that was kind of the right idea where to put the ball, but it had to be just a little bit more to the left, honestly. This will be for the 10 box, and he'll take a 9 out of it. That's 9 after 1. For Mario Ameno. Mario Ameno has been averaging 5 on the first ball this evening so far. Bryan Hebert's been averaging 4.7, so Mario Ameno slightly better luck on the first ball. 13 headpin shots for Mario Ameno and 9 for Bryan Hebert. 4 splits for Mario Ameno, 5 for Bryan Hebert. And he'll mix down quite a bit off to the right, but it didn't matter too much. He'll drop 7 again, upping that first ball average. And he just sails off to the right into the ocean. The 1-2-5 are left on the deck. No spare for Mario Ameno. And the result of the play looks like it's going to be an 8 box. The way the decks move and the way the friction is down there, I never really count a pin completely up or down until the action completely stops. Because that headpin could have really gone all the same. 3 drop for Mario Ameno off the right side, the 6-9-10 taken out. And on the pocket, he punches them all out with the 5. Pounds that pocket, and that pesky 5 pin just doesn't go for Mario Ameno. For the 10, and he'll miss off to the left. That'll be a 9. 9-8-9 for Mario Ameno. Puts him at 26 after 3. 1 headpin shot, 1 split. Mario Ameno will drop 7 as the 1-3-10 now. He fires, and he'll take the 3 and the 10 and leave the head pin, just missing the object pin there. For the 10 box, and he's got it. That 10 box puts him at 36 after 4. 9, 8, 9, 10. Scoring boxes above 8 are generally good, but you kind of could use some marks just to kind of keep the momentum going, but it's a good baseline for sure. Gives you some more wiggle room, you know. Mario Ameno, he's on the pocket, it's looking good. It gets in a splash, drop of 6, drop of 7, an ugly split, 6, 7, 8. No wood at all. Oh, that's just not fair. He's dropped 7 on the first ball 4 times this half, with a 3 drop being the other one. And yep, into the ocean there, and I feel his frustration there. That's really, oh man, it's annoying to have a great first ball and then get left with something like that in Candlepin. I know I've been there a bunch of times, as much as recently. Mario Ameno will take a 44 half after 5. 9-8, 9-10, 8, 44. 2 for 5 in the head pin. Both of those head pin shots were splits. Mario Ameno, 14 head pin shots, 5 splits for the night so far. 2 spares, no strikes, 7 tens. Averaging 4.9 on the first ball. Thank you for coming out for watching this match. Or coming out or staying in, you know. Don't have to come out to watch the match. Although plenty of people were here when this place was a little bit busier just a little while ago. As we are a little bit later in the evening now. Bryan Hebert misses the head pin, but he mixes down 6, 1, 2, 3, 7. Just a little bit off the object pin, leaves the 1 and the 3. For the 10 box. Ooh, and a pin will the head pin will dance around the 3. That's a 9 for Hebert. That's 9 after 1. Bryan Hebert buries the pocket, and yikes, and his reward is similar to Mario Ameno's, a big split, a 6 drop, a banana split. 7, 10, 4, 6. The banana split. This one, the individual in this picture is Casey McCool. And for the banana, he'll take 2 of 4 on both sides, leaving the 4 and the 10. And it will be an 8 for Bryan Hebert. 17 after 2, identical to Mario Ameno's 17 after 2. And it looks like it's going to be a 4 drop and a 6 pack on the right side for Bryan Hebert. Bryan Hebert's first ball averaging so far 4.8. And that ball will sail off to the left into the ocean. Bryan Hebert has 10 head pin shots this evening and 6 splits. That will sail into the ocean as well for a 4 box for Bryan Hebert. 21 after 3. And this is a situation where, remember we were talking about Mario Ameno and how he's staying above the baseline of 8 for the box quantity. This is a situation, and this is kind of dovetailing into the boxes 1 statistic, where that can really make a difference because it can be a profit of big, big, big pins later on. Bryan Hebert will drop 8 on the head pin. That's the 3 and the 9. 3-9 for Bryan Hebert. Here it goes. He's got it for the spare. We'll get you the replay of that in just a moment. That's 31 and a bonus after 4 for Bryan Hebert, and let's watch that shot again. 3 and the 9. Had to punch it right in the face, and he did. The wood in between it was actually really helpful to ensure that, because often that shot doesn't go if you play it direct. Bryan Hebert, oh yikes, that was a ball that was good on target, but he took 2 out, and that's a 12 box in the 4th for 33 and 4 with that 2 fill. And he wanted to nail that half Worcester into next week, but he leaves the 7 and the 8. He was right on target. And this will be for the 10 box, but he'll take an 8. That's 41 after 5 for Bryan Hebert, keeping it competitive with Mario Ameno at 44 after 5. It's a difference of 3 in the game in Mario Ameno's favor. No bowler on open marks at the moment. Bryan Hebert has the total by 24 right now, and it's anyone's game in the 5th, really, just a difference of 3. As we head into the final 5 boxes for both our bowlers here in the ACST Class E North, Mario Ameno visiting Bryan Hebert here at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. Appreciate you watching. I'm Steve Kelly here in the broadcast booth, and let's see what happens from here. Here's Mario Ameno on the pocket. Hasn't thrown a strike yet this evening. He'll split 8 here. 7 and 9. Ameno Ameno fires, plays the wood, and that was looking pretty for a second. I thought it had a chance of going. 9 goes, 7 stays. Not the plank I thought was going to stay on the deck. And that'll be a 9 for for Mario Ameno. That's 53 and 6. Hope this broadcast finds you well. Everyone involved here, from the bowlers to the staff you cannot see in the shots, all appreciate your viewership and interest in the world of Candlepin bowling. Do check out Boutwell's Bowling Center if you're around. And, oh, so there's a awkward split of 7 for Mario Ameno. That's a 3-7-10. Let's see if he can take the shot. And it goes into the center. 3-7-10 are staying. And around for another ball, at least. Ameno on the retry. He'll take the 3, he'll take the 10, he'll leave the 7. That's a 9 box. Still baselining above 8 or higher. 62 and 7 for Mario Ameno, just keeping pace. 4 for 7 on the head pin. All 4 of those head pin shots have been splits for Mario Ameno this evening in this game. And he'll sail off to the right, and he'll mix 5. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Oops. And he'll sail off to the right, take the 5. Not much else. 1, 2, 5. Take the 9, that is, not the 5. And that's a nice 10 box for Mr. Mario Ameno. That puts him at 72 and 8. He'll shave 3 off the back, maybe more. 5 goes, that's a 4 drop. 5 drop. Extra pin fell. Big check mark on the left. 4 horsemen left side and the 3. And he takes the 4 and the 7 out, kicks a piece of wood, but doesn't take the 1, the 2, or the 3 pins. For the 10 box, he'll take 1 more out for an 8. 80 and 9 for Mr. Mario Ameno, who's from the Wakefield Bowlodrome. Only bowled 1 match so far, still very early in his season. Matches are bowled kind of asymmetrically all throughout the league. So there some bowlers prefer to get them all done early. Some bowlers will take their time. 1, 2, 7, 8 for Mario Ameno here. Just a little off target and leaves the target pin. For the 10 box, to close out, he'll take a 10. That will be a 95th game for Mr. Mario Ameno, and that will put him at a 5-game total of 421 with a 76 and 90, an 80 and 85, and a 90. Mario Ameno's final stats: 16 for 50 on the head pin with 7 splits, averaging 84 for the evening, 4.5 averaging on the first ball. He has 9 tens and 2 spares. That will be the benchmark for Bryan Hebert to reach this evening for the grand total pinfall. And he'll take a few more out, 4, 5, the center diamond, the 6, and the 10. It's a 4 drop for Bryan Hebert. Hebert on the second ball. And he'll punch 2 more out. That's the 1, the 2, the 5, the 6, and the 10. I'll take 2 more out for a 7. That's 48 after 6 for Bryan Hebert. It's Paul Grant down there. He just called a great match to the right of us. When we were still starting out, it was just finishing up. It was a doubleheader in this busy, busy house at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. Here's Bryan Hebert, not in the pocket, but a great mix of the 1, the 3, and the 9 left on the deck. There's a 7 drop. Hebert for the spare. Oh, and just sails off to the left. And he'll take one more out. That's an 8-box for Bryan Hebert. $56-7 now for Bryan Hebert. Compare that to $62-7 for Mario Ameno. Mario Ameno holds on to the total by 7 as of right now. And this is the 5th and final game. 4-drop, 6-pack for Bryan Hebert. And on the 6-pack, oh, it was just a hair off from connecting with the 1-3 pocket. That would have been a spare otherwise. This will be for a 10 for Bryan Hebert, and he'll take a 9-box. That's 65-8 for Bryan Hebert. The home bowler, bowling out of Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire, defending against Mario Ameno of Wakefield Bowladrome in Wakefield, Massachusetts. In Class E North, Mario Ameno 2-12, Bryan Hebert 10-32. Their records so far in this early point of the season. Bryan Hebert, oh, right on the head pin, too much on the head pin, 3-drop. Talon spread eagle. Talon spread eagle because the 9-pin is a sleeper pin back there. Otherwise, it would be the traditional academic 4-pin spread eagle. Hebert, oh, he takes a whole bunch of pins out, leaves the 3 and the 10. It was a good offer. For the 10-box, and he'll make it a 9. That's 74-9 for Bryan Hebert now. And on the 1-3 pocket, I wouldn't say he buries it, but he got a good mix. Well, I don't even know if that's a good mix. That's a 2-9-10. It's a split. Ball was pretty much right where it needed to be. It's just, this is an ugly leave. That would, helpful but not helpful. You can, yeah, like just look at this. This is not going to be an ugly, this is not going to be a good shot. This is going to be a, it's going to be TV ugly. That's what it's going to be. And he'll take the 9 and leave the 2 and the 10. Eight, 9, or 10 for Bryan Hebert. And oof, so he'll take an 8. I believe that will be the 5th game. Actually, 2 points going to Mario Ameno. And that's 82 for Bryan Hebert in the 5th. Let's see where things shook out. Bryan Hebert with a 5-game total of 440 wins the grand total pinfall. Mario Ameno 421. Bryan Hebert takes it by 19. Mario Ameno will take the 5th game by 8, though. 90 to Bryan Hebert's 82. And so it's a, so anyways, let's take a look at what our final stats are here. Here we go. So Bryan Hebert this evening will be taking 10 points. Mario Ameno will take 4. And that is going to be basically all we have this evening. 2 strikes for Bryan Hebert, 5 spares. Mario Ameno couldn't find a strike, but he had 2 spares and 9 10-boxes. And the fill totals, if you look at Bryan Hebert's fill totals off of marks, he had total 32 versus Mario Ameno's 3 overall. The first ball averages were just about even. Mario Ameno 4.9 in the first ball. Bryan Hebert about 4.8 in the first ball overall. Head pins 16 for Mario Ameno, 12 for Bryan Hebert. Even on the splits at the end of it all, Mario Ameno started out with very few splits, but they started to rack up after a while. Bryan Hebert, though, did match him 7-7. 84 average for Mario Ameno, 88 average for Bryan Hebert. And in the head-to-head boxes one department, Mario Ameno 121, Bryan Hebert 120 boxes overall head-to-head. So that's kind of an interesting stat right there if you think about it. All the others were ties. But in terms of the points and where the points mattered and where the leads mattered, Bryan Hebert will be taking 10 points this evening. I'll show you some graphs here to better illustrate some stats. Feel free to pause the stream if you want to take a look at this in greater detail, because we're just squaring up first ball averages and stuff. Mario Ameno's first ball average actually really took off in the second game in particular, dipped a little bit in the third and fourth game, and then kind of shot back up towards the 5th game there. But it was more the Bryan Hebert show in terms of the fill bonuses. If you take a look at that, he's all over there lighting up that graph. So just to give you an idea. Anyways, that should be just about it for us here at Boutwell's Bowling Center in Concord, New Hampshire. Again, do consider my raffle tickets for the Massholes. Feel free to Venmo me, or if you find me in person, just talk to me then. 1 ticket for $5, 3 tickets for $10, and 5 tickets for $20 if you're interested. You can win a lot of money if you get your name drawn in the raffle, and you'll be supporting a team that is awesome. So anyways, that should just about do it for us here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I want to thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments and questions or suggestions in the comments, and be sure to consider liking, subscribing, ringing the bell, doing all that stuff. 2-3 Ball Spare on Facebook, Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, Danny Finn, and Micah Imparato, our statistician, and everyone else helping us supporting the ACST. Anyways, I've been Steve Kelly for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Have a great one, everybody. Good night.